Hey everyone, Paul Johnson, Waconia, Minnesota, and Laughing Trout Fly Tying Club. Today I'm going to be tying the Shop Vac. This is a great fly pattern. It's kind of a combination of a pheasant tail nymph and a prince nymph. So you take two good things, two good flies, add them together, you got to have a really good fly. And that's the result here. So it's tied on a size 16 scud hook. The body is pheasant tail. It's got a ribbing of gold wire, size brassy. The wing is white Zelon, and the collar is Wapsi Super Bright Peacock dubbing. I just love this dubbing. Makes a great fly pattern, and I use it in a lot of different ones. So let's get started here. Get the hook in my vise. As I mentioned, it's a size 16 scud hook. For thread, I've got some 14-aught dark brown. Get that started right behind the bead. Next, I'm just going to tie in a length of wire. Just out of habit more than anything, I just always tie it right parallel to the hook shank facing me. And then I'll wrap that down the bend of the hook. And come up just a little bit. Now I've got 8 pheasant tail fibers. Not 7, not 9, it's got to be 8. Actually, that'll depend a little bit. Sometimes the pheasant tail fibers will be a little different thickness. So these are pretty small and pretty thin, so 8 seems to be about the right size. If you had a little bit bigger pheasant tail fibers, you could go down to 6 of them. But I always make it an even number and always tie the whole batch with the same number. So I tie that in by the tips. And now I'm just going to take that pheasant tail, all 8 of them, avoiding that hook shank. Wrap it up the hook shank. Again, if I was just tying this, I would use my rotary feature in my vise, but it gets a little bit wonky with the camera lens. All right, I'll end up right behind the bead and a couple wraps of thread and secure that in place. Bind that down good. Now I'm going to take my wire and I'll make counter wraps and 7 wraps. And end up right behind the bead again, and I'll secure that with my tying thread. Come in with fingernail clippers and clip off that excess. I've got a length of that Zelon. This is a crinkled Zelon, so what you can do a little bit with that is just kind of give it a pull, and it'll straighten it out a little bit. Tie that in a couple of wraps right behind the bead, and then I'm going to fold it over and then wrap tying thread over the top of that. I'll come in with my tying scissors and cut that off about a hook gap in length. And then I'm just going to add some of that dubbing. So this is, I mentioned the Wapsi Super Bright dubbing in Peacock. It's got a nice color to it. It's a lot nicer to use than the ice dub. Ice dub is so coarse, a little bit hard to dub with. This is a little bit finer cut, makes it just a little bit easier to work with. And I like this dubbing better than just using Peacock Hurl. I think it's a little bit more durable. 4-turn whip finish. Got my tying thread, and if you get a little bit of some wayward hack or dubbing, just kind of clip them off. Now and there, it's bugging me. So there it is, Shop Vac. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.